Hi, welcome to Monique's Book List. And I'm here to do the newbie booktuber tag. I probably said it backwards. I did. Oh well. But I'm a newbie to booktube. And I'm doing the tag. So before we get into the questions that I have actually remixed a bit, because some of them I don't really know how to answer. So if you're familiar with this channel, you know that it used to be just a channel like maybe 10 years ago where I did some traveling videos and I did some hair review videos and I did a lot of things. The most recent thing I did, like I think 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago, were reviews for Amazon. I was part of that program where you could review stuff and get stuff for a discounted rate for honest review, which we all know stopped. And I also got pregnant at the same time, so I had to stop because I was pregnant. So yeah, that's what I did. So I've revamped the channel to do booktube. I've always wanted to do booktube. It wasn't a thing 10 years ago. That's why I didn't do it 10 years ago. Or that would have been my thing the whole way out, would have been booktube. But unfortunately it wasn't. But now it is. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about a lot in this video and also in other videos. A little more about myself. I am 41 years old. I have a 22 month old. Basically, she's almost two. I'm married and I love my husband very much. And I don't know why I had to say that. Like, I don't know, that got weird. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the newbie tag. So it says, why did you start this channel? Well, I didn't technically I'm not starting a new channel. I'm revamping a channel that I've always had. And again, it's because it didn't exist when I started 10 years ago. Or I didn't know of it 10 years ago. So, but if I had my way, I would have always been doing booktube. Um, yeah, so that I started it basically because I love talking about books, and or revamped it so I could talk about books and I just love talking about books. I read a lot. I listen to books and I read books. I do the narration sometimes. I don't narrate, meaning that I read a book. I'll read a book and listen to it at the same time. Um, it helps me, so I love it. Okay, what are some fun and unique things that you can bring to BookTube? Now, that is a question that I struggle with the most. Um, I can't technically quantify what I'm going to bring except my unique view on books. One thing that I know that I want to do is help people read more or help give people ideas on how to read more without buying a lot of ways to get digital copies of books and free books. And so I'm hoping that I can help lead people in a direction to read more books that are free or find subscriptions that are not so expensive to get books. So that's what I think I can bring. All right. What are you most excited about? Or, yeah, what are you most excited for with this revamp channel? It says new, but revamping. Just to be able to talk about books. Um, yeah, and get input, like input about books that or a different point of view about books that either maybe I hate, or maybe I love, and I didn't think about that. One thing I will say is I I'm gonna hold off on that until I start talking about specific books. But yeah, just different opinions about books or learning about books that I didn't know that were out there. Okay, why do you love reading? I think I love reading like most people. It's an escape. Um, Also to learn new things. And I okay, so the room I'm sitting in is my office slash craft room. I'm a very creative person, so I love creativity around me, and books are one of the best forms of creativity that stimulate me. Movies stimulate me, music stimulate me, and books also. So that's another reason why I love to read. Um, what book or book series got you into reading? Well, like I said before, I'm 41 years old, so Harry Potter and that stuff was not when I was a kid. Um, Honestly, the book that got me into reading, and it sounds very cliche, and I know people will get upset because I'm calling it a book, but it is a book, the Bible. My mother and father are very religious, and my mom used to read the Bible to us all the time, and we would read the Bible. So that's what got me into reading those kids' Bibles, where they would turn the stories more like, they would make the stories a little more kid friendly. So that's what got me into reading. From there, I went to like comic books, not DC and Marvel yet, but more like Archie comics, that kind of stuff. And then from there, I went to the standard Babysitter Club and all the teeny bopper stuff that was out at the time when I was a teenager. Um, One of my favorite books that I remember when I was very young that my mom allowed me to read. Again, my family was very religious. There was not a lot of books I was allowed to read because of misunderstanding at the time. But was Encyclopedia Brown. You probably don't even know who Encyclopedia Brown is. That's how old these books are. But it was a little boy who was basically smart, and he solved crimes. And the book was set up that at the beginning of the book, you would get the case, or yeah, you would get the case. Like, you would figure out what was stolen, what was that kind of thing. And at the end of the book, each case had a solution or a resolution, and you would go to the end of the book and read the resolution. But before then, you try to guess. And I think that's what started my love of murder mysteries, or mysteries in general, was that. So yes, the Bible and Encyclopedia Brown and Archie. Next question: what questions would you ask your favorite booktuber? My bad. um A Marie is my favorite booktuber. She actually got me into a lot of other booktubers like Lala, a few other people. So she's my favorite booktuber. And honestly, she just had a child too. Well, I should say two. My child's older than hers, but um, so all the questions I would ask her, she literally just did a video and answered all of them. But basically, I would love to ask her, how do you enjoy being a new mom? How do you focus on, because she's also a musician, and uh, I would love to know, how are you doing all of this and still being able to, focus on, being a mom, and how, are you being stressed out? Are you resting? She literally answered all these questions like in a video that I watched yesterday. So yeah, that's what I would ask her, and she answered it. So that's amazing. And what challenges? Okay, so the last question is, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? And I would say a few things. My first one is that I seem to have very unpopular opinions about very popular books. And before anyone gets it twisted, that book or book series is not Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. Okay? Harry Potter is what got me back into reading the way I do. Okay? Um, okay, so outside of that, yeah, I feel like sometimes I have very unpopular opinions about books that most people love. And I don't read a lot of stuff that everyone else reads. Like, I don't read a lot of young adult fiction. I don't read a lot of, I don't know. The books I like are, again, I think I have like 6 or 7 types of books that I like to read the most. The first is cozy murder mysteries. I know I hate the phrase cozy murder mysteries because someone is dying, but it's true. I enjoy those type of books. I enjoy those books for many reasons. One of the biggest reasons is the fact that they tend to also immerse you into a community where you get to know various people. And the ones I read, let me just say that the ones I read have done that. And we'll talk about my favorite murder mystery series. But yeah, murder mysteries. Outside of that is historical fiction, and then just history books. I read history books too, which is weird. My husband does too. It's really weird. We just read history books. So history, I'll clump them together. So historical fiction slash hit and history. That's 3 separate categories. Thrillers slash suspense. I love suspense. One of my favorite book series is the Comer and Strike series, by AKA J.K. Rowling. She's using a pen, but I always say AKA J.K. Rowling. Um, uh, and what's the other one? That's another one I like to read. Of course, smut, like everybody else, and then there's romance, like actual romance. Um, and yeah, so I feel like that because those are my wheelhouse that I like to stay in. When I venture out and read other books that other YouTubers like, I tend to have it unpopular. Not because it sounds like because that is my thing. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go read these, and no, I don't like them. That's not what happens. It's like I usually have a very unpopular opinion about books that everyone loves, and one of the biggest books that I had the biggest is the word. Um, the most unpopular opinion about was The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I'm actually going to do a review on that book. I think that's my biggest thing, is being afraid that my opinion is very unpopular to cause a little feather ruffling, but I'm okay with it. I'm a big girl. I'll accept people being upset with me. Another thing that I feel like is going to be a bit of a challenge is that I am an older woman, and I don't know if my age and the fact of my life life experiences have, I don't even know where I was going with that. So I'm just going to stop. Yeah, I'm going to stop. I think I'm done. So I want to say thank you for listening to me ramble on about this goodness. Welcome to my channel, my revamped channel. And I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I'll talk to you shortly. Bye.